Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Ace and I got more Guild Wars 2 content here for you. Also rocking the best non-legendary weapon skin for the Greatsword in my opinion on my pretty badass Norn here. Regardless, that's besides the point, because this video will be some tips and tricks and potentially even some advice for either new players or people that have been playing for a while but are apparently very much rich. Anyway, first of all, we'll start off with, of course, the collectibles. Like, as you can see, certain items, if you right-click them, you can deposit as collectible. This is something you should be doing all the bloody time. And I am not even kidding, guys. If you don't do this, you will regret it severely later. Because not only does this make your life easier with, of course, making inventory space, it also allows you to do crafting a lot cheaper. And some professions are already fairly cheap, but if you just, play on one character and you deposit and you want to craft on another character, it is possible. This special collectible storage room that you have is account-wide. So even if I play my Norn and collect like tons of stuff while just leveling up and exploring the world, if I make a new character, I can directly start crafting with him or her and get some levels even out of it. But we'll get there to a minute, because another good trick for new players at least is if you press H and you get your character screen and you click on PvP and then go to the Heart of the Mist. And this is a very crucial thing to know actually if you are fairly new to the game, especially for somebody like me. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to make as a character. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what everything did at some point, and I of course made a video about it, at least several videos about all the classes and their abilities and such. But there's a lot more to it. Of course, if you get here, your gear will change. You will notice that your abilities have changed, but there's nothing to be worried about, because if you go to your character slot once again, you go to your skills and traits, and then of course your slot skills. So you can see that everything is unlocked, but all your racials are gone. This is because it's a PvP ground, and in PvP you can't use your racials. But even if you just get out of your tutorial level after you created your character, you are level 2, because you can't be level 1 out of the tutorial. You will always be level 2. You can get here directly by the same technique or the same way that I just used, and you can directly test everything out here. You can test every single weapon, every single utility spell, every single elite for your class, and you can basically see what fits your playstyle and go from there. Because if you get here, you will not have every single weapon, but this weapon smith here, or the PvP item vendor, will sell every single weapon available for free. As you can see, it's all zero. So if I wanted to test out the two-handed hammer, I can just buy it for free, I can equip it, and bam, everything will be unlocked, even if you are level 2 and never used the weapon. And you can just test it out right here at either, of course, the combat trading right here, there's some combat trading right here, or here. Like, there's test dummies there, those are actually NPCs that fight back. Like, you can just test out and see what fits your playstyle, and if you think that the character doesn't fit you, you go from there, right? Another good reason is to, at least another good reason to get here is, once you go here, you will see directly that there is more portals around this area. There's also a Mystic Forge right there if you are interested, but I find the one in Lion's Arch to be a little bit more friendlier. But there's a giant purple or pink portal right here as well, which is a very important portal, because this portal is the Azura Gate to Lion's Arch. And this is a way that might actually help you to either go for free to Lion's Arch relatively quickly, because once you start traveling at higher levels, it becomes more than 1 or 2 silver just to waypoint, which is kind of expensive, especially when you don't have massive amounts of gold laying around. But you directly jump here and you're good to go. This is also very nice if you, for example, have a new character and you want to send them to a central hub the most easiest way possible. Because this is usually the central hub for players that are high level. But once again, there's also a lot more to it than just getting here. Because not only can you, of course, go to the Azura Gates that will bring you to every single starting zone. So if you want to play with some friends that have, for example, made a different race, I am a Norn, and I, for example, wanted to play with some Sylvari friends that just started leveling, I can do that. I can just go to this Azura Gate and directly teleport myself to the Sylvari starting zone. And as you can see, they are represented by the respected races. There's some charter. Once again, the Safari, Azura chilling out here. And of course the humans taking the high ground. So that's very nice if you are, for example, a starting player and you want to try different zones out. Also, if you are falling behind on your actual quest, what I had, you could use the same tactic to, start leveling at a different starting zone. No problem whatsoever. Another good trick is if you want to look at the dungeon gear. Dungeon gear is of course high-end exotics, and they are very nice. Personally, I wish they were a little bit different, because overall I'm not really satisfied with how the dungeon gear looks. Like, I have a preference for certain other gear pieces. But regardless, if you have several vendors at each other, and I do think that this is one of the reasons why they are sticking so close, is if you open up the armor screen and you just, you're gonna test out some gear. Nothing to be worried about. As you can see, it looks a bit weird on my Northern Guardian. I find at least the shoulders, but I feel like maybe I want some different shoulders. You can click away the vendor, but you keep your preview open, and if you walk away, your preview will still open, right? And you want to try out the, let's say, the Escalonian Catacombs armor pieces. Now, then you can just go back and you want to try the gloves, the heavy gloves, and let's say the heavy shoulders. So you preview it, and also the shoulders, of course. And as you can see, it still has the previous armor previewed, but then with the new Escalonian Catacombs pieces onto it, and it looks a lot better, I find. So there you go. And this is a way that I use to basically, mix and match my look when it comes down to dungeon armor, so I know which dungeons to chase down for a specific race and class combination. And I think this is pretty much it. Like, if you do like to do World v World and you are an overflow, which I am right not, but sometimes you will find yourself an overflow, you can go here and these portals will say unknown. But if you have friends in the borderlands that you are fighting, or at least willing to fight on, you could ask them what color they are on, and I think the color coding of the portal should already give away which portal you should go into, and that of course is the Eternal Battlegrounds. Very nice thing to know if you are constantly stuck in overflow, because perhaps Lion's Arch is very busy on your server. And another trick, if you are rich, and this is also the last one for this video, if you are rich, you want to really get into the crafting professions, not only for your main character, but especially for alternative characters. Like I stated at the beginning of this video, that you want to have your collectibles deposited for every single character, right? They are account bound, so even if I make a new character, I have directly got access to all these collectibles, making my life a lot cheaper when I want to go down to crafting. Every crafting procession has 400 levels, basically 1 to 400, and every crafting profession will give you 10 levels. There's 8 of them, so technically once you get out of the tutorial at level 2, you have basically the chance to go to a central hub like this and use every single crafting profession just to level up all the way from level 2 to level 80 without actually doing a quest whatsoever. That's insane. And then of course, if you are rich enough, you can buy the exotics of the trading post and be ready to go and do endgame stuff. But you have to be really rich for that. Nonetheless, if you want to pick up cooking, jewelry and artificing, cooking being the cheapest, especially if you have collectibles, but even without collectibles, it's the cheapest. It's the like 2-3 gold without any kind of resources beforehand. So if you buy anything from, of course, the trading post and such, following certain good guides, then you can get 10 levels for your character for about 2 to 3 gold. And it's about the same for artificing and of course jewel crafting. So if you have about 10 gold pieces laying around, you have a guaranteed 30 levels just by doing those 3 professions. So that's nice things to know if you are going to make alternative characters and you're falling behind on level, or you just want to do the last couple of levels but you don't really want to go out to ore, for example, like the 70 to 80 part. Things like that. And it's kind of insane that you are able to do so, but once again, those things do require a lot of gold, and gold sometimes is very much hard to get. So these are a good starting amount of tips and advice and tricks for people that are either very much rich or are starting out with the game. So let me know if it helped you out, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care.